talk about hysterics? You want to talk about why people are motivated to do crazy things and kill people? Maybe because of former Attorney General Eric Holder and speech like this, 1498. Why are we in the middle of assassination culture? Why did a 17-year-old kill his parents so that he could have the money to go kill Trump? Why have two people tried to kill Trump? Why are people politically motivated to start punishing people with murder if they're having a tough go of it? I mean, why gun down a United Healthcare CEO in New York City because you're unhappy about the way insurance treated your family? This is becoming all too common. This is how we deal with our emotions these days. This is and ratcheted up rhetoric that's completely insane. 1498. Listen to Eric Holder here.
Beyond that, every citizen in this country ought to be afraid, because the reality is if they are successful in doing this to immigrants, and now they're doing things against American citizens, as you talked about before, who criticized the president, it won't be too long. And the president himself has said he had no objections to taking convicted criminals and putting them in the same jail in El Salvador. There's a treadmill that we're potentially getting on here that could result in the erosion of rights for American citizens. Now, I'm not saying that's the only reason that we should be concerned about this. People who are in this country deserve the ability to go before courts and have courts make determinations about whether they can stay, whether they should leave, how they should be treated. And this administration wants to take upon itself to the derogation of the ability of...
So, yeah, it's 1930s Europe. And I'm hearing this a lot. I know you have. The Maryland man, the Maryland man, the Maryland man. Do you know the Maryland man, the Maryland man, the Maryland man? You mean the guy that's a member of MS-13, the guy that broke into the country illegally, the El Salvador resident that broke into the country, member of MS-13, and was rounded up with the rest of Tren de Aragua. And oops, he wasn't a Tren de Aragua guy. He was actually an MS-13 guy with a rap sheet and here illegally. Oops, sorry, we sent him to the violent prison gang. He should have been in a different violent prison, I guess. So difference without a distinction as far as I'm concerned, but MS-13, a different variety from the garden than Tren de Aragua. But he's a Maryland man. He's a Maryland man. He's a Maryland man. All the local news, all the left wing. He's a Maryland man. And Trump is indiscriminately just rounding up Maryland men. And it's like 1930s Germany. Now, that's the former top law enforcement official of the country, Eric Holder. He goes on MSNBC and tells that audience that Trump is just rounding people up. And then you wonder to yourself, how is it? What is it that drives people to these crazy places where they think they've got to murder a guy like Trump? That kind of speech sure does it. That's not true. That's the least genuine thing one could ever say. This is not, some guy out mowing his lawn in a Maryland suburb when a SWAT team comes and scoops him up. Hey, what are you doing? Like he's in Dockers after having some lemonade. Oh, no, a Maryland man. He was about to go to his son's softball game, and it's such a lie. Taylor Lorenz, 1512 here, continues to talk, speaking of Luigi Mangione and what the media is getting wrong about this. Listen to this in 1512.
Hilarious to see these millionaire media pundits on TV clutching their pearls about someone standing a murderer when this is the United States of America, as if we don't lionize criminals, as if we don't have, we don't stand murderers of all sorts, and we give them Netflix shows. There's a huge disconnect between the narratives and angles the sort of mainstream media pushes and what the American public feels. And you see that in moments like this. And I can tell you, I saw the biggest audience growth that I've ever seen, because people were like, oh, some journalist is actually speaking to the anger that we feel.
The women who gather outside court in New York.
So you're going to see women especially that feel like, oh my God, right? Like here's this man who's revolutionary, who's famous, who's handsome, who's young, who's smart. He's a person that seems this morally good man, which is hard to find.
Yeah, I just realized women will literally date an assassin before they swipe right on me. That's where we are. I'm sure you wouldn't like to be compared to a Trump supporter, but some of how people cannot understand.
That's enough. Now, look, Taylor Lorenz has been pretty outstanding on Substack with her independent journalism, particularly as it related to COVID. Appreciate her. But there she goes and shows herself to be the left-winger that she is. She thinks this Luigi Mangione guy's kind of dreamy. She thinks he deserves a Netflix show. She thinks single ladies really look at a guy like that because he's handsome and look, he vanquished the mean healthcare CEO. I mean, who hates their health insurance provider? Oh, I do. And he's dreamy. Oh, he's dreamy and he vanquished the health insurance provider. Right on. Man, my hero. This is sick. This is sick talk. It's mentally ill. It's mentally ill to liken arresting an MS-13 guy in the suburbs of Maryland and make him out to be some suburban house dad. It's illness. These people are lying, and mentally ill people hear it, and then they act. And you wonder how we're here, assassination culture? I don't.
The Chris Stigall Show Podcast.